Okay, next we're going to talk about the reporting services. Really, it's not the scope of this class to go over reporting services, but at least I'd like to show them how to get started with the reporting services. So you actually don't do that in the SQL Server Management Studio. So we're going to minimize that. And I'm going to go, in my desktop I have the SQL Server folder, otherwise that would be under the Start menu. So I'll click on that and maximize this window. And actually, you're going to go into the SQL Server Business Intelligence Development Studio. So we're going to double click on that, and that will open up this different screen. From here, you're going to pick on File, New, and make a project. And the project type, this template, is going to be the Report Server Project Wizard. Go ahead and double click on that. And that will start the Report Wizard, as we can see. We're going to pick on Next here. Okay, now for the data source, you're going to pick on a new data source. You're going to pick on the SQL Server, otherwise there's other ones that you could use for your reports. Of course, we'll use SQL Server. You want to pick on Edit over here. Now, for the server name, if you click on the pull down and if the server name doesn't come up, sometimes that happens, then just type it in. Type in your server name that you would have used in the SQL Server. Of course, I'm going to use the SQL Server authentication. Excuse me. I'm going to type in SA and the password. And you can do save password so you don't have to do that the next time. And then you're going to pick on the database. All right. In this case, let's use Class 1 Manual. All right. So we'll pick on OK. You can test the connection if you wanted to, and it should not be a problem. We'll click on OK. And then that's our data source, as we can see. Let's pick on Next. Now you're going to use the Query Builder, or you can just use SQL statements over here, but let's use the Query Builder. And we're going to get a visual type of screen, of course. And we've seen this before when we were making queries and the views. So you're going to come over here and click on the yellow plus sign and add a table. In this case, we're going to use the Order Master. Of course, we can pick more than one table if we wanted to. We're going to click on Close. Now, let's pick some fields. We'll pick Order ID, Customer ID, Employee ID, Order Date, and maybe the order amount. So you pick your field. If you wanted to, as we saw during the query and the view, we can pick a sort type and a sort order, and then the filter to add your criteria in. But in this case, we'll just do use this data. So you can see the select statement did come over. We'll pick on Next. Now you could just type it in here. You could just type in this big white box or use the Query Builder. We'll pick on Next. Now in this case, a tabular report is just going to be a list of data where the field names are up top. The matrix is more like a crosstab that you might see in Access or a pivot table that you might see in Excel. Maybe you'll show both of those during the class, but the example that I have in the book is the tabular. If you have time, maybe you can show a matrix report to show what that might look like. We're going to pick on Next here. Now, here's where you can build the report. For the group, if you want subtotals, you definitely want to have a group. We're going to group it by customer ID. And then for the detail, I have the employee, I have the order date, the order ID, the employee ID, the order date, and the order amount. I'm just adding those right to the details, as we can see. And we're going to group it by customer ID. We'll pick on Next here. Now, I like the stepped layout. You can try the stepped or the blocked. I prefer the stepped, I guess. Now, I do want to include the subtotals, and we do want to enable the drill down. It just shows you a little bit more power there. We'll pick on Next. Now, you pick the style of your report. You can pick either one of those. They're all fine. We'll pick on Next. And now the report server is fine. We'll pick on next there. And you can give this a name. Click on finish. It's going to make the report for us. So you do this during the class. And let's see what kind of thing it's going to make for us here. Here's the actual report. Right now we're in design view. To run the report, you're going to come over here and pick on preview. And then look at the report it's going to make for us. Might take a couple minutes. You tell the class it's going to take longer if they have a larger table. Now notice what it did. Here it's showing us all the subtotals by company. Remember we said we're going to enable the drill down. So if you click on one of the plus signs, then it'll show you the actual detail for that company. So here's the company, and then it actually added up the total fields this week, the order amount. It gave us a total for that by company. And that's the report that we made. If we went to the last page, you would see that we have all the different companies. And I can go to the next page or the previous page as such. And there's our report. So that's typically what I would show to show the report services. Of course, we can go back to design view and start to modify this thing. You know, that's what I would show. If you wanted to, maybe you can also do a matrix type of report as well.